Every now and then, a film comes along well, it's more than just a movie. It's a signpost, a signal that something big is shifting. And today, we're diving into a project just like that. A fictional film called Varanasi, and what it tells us about a huge transformation happening in Indian cinema right now. Think about it. In the whole history of movies, there are these moments, these projects that just cut through all the noise. We're not talking about just box office hits or what's trending online. No, these are the ones that history looks back on and says, that was different.
They're turning points. They signal a massive shift in ambition, in vision, in how a whole country sees its own filmmaking. And this film we're talking about, Varanasi, is imagined as exactly that. It's one of those super rare, truly game-changing moments. Okay, so what's the big deal? Why is this project so important? Well, it's all about its ambition. It's trying to completely redefine how Indian cinema sees itself on the world stage. We're talking about a leap from, just following global trends to actually becoming a global cultural force in its own right.
And you have to get this isn't an accident. The entire point of a film like Varanasi is this very deliberate, very strategic shift. It's all about building the confidence to tell stories that are authentically Indian, but not just for India. They're for everyone.
So, this big jump, from what we call a pan-Indian model to a truly global one, that's really the heart of this whole thing. But to really grasp how huge of a leap this is, we gotta break down what pan-Indian even means first.
Okay, so for a while now, the big win in Indian cinema has been the pan-Indian film. What's that? It's basically making movies, a lot of them coming from South India, that smash language barriers and become huge hits across all the different states within India. And make no mistake, that was a massive, massive achievement. It created this huge, unified national audience. But a project like Varanasi, it's aiming to take that next giant step.
And this right here, this lays out the shift in thinking perfectly. The pan-Indian model, right? That was mostly driven by the market. You get a huge star, you make a movie that appeals to a wide base, you aim for a big box office return. But this new global ambition, that's a whole different ballgame. It's about building entire worlds, telling these epic stories based on myths that can connect with anyone anywhere. It's not just about ticket sales anymore. It's about exporting culture.
You want to know one of the biggest clues to this global ambition? Just look at the team they put together. Seriously, this is not just a random list of famous people. It's like a dream team strategically assembled, where every single person has a very specific role to play in hitting that global target.
I mean, you kick things off with a name like SS Rajamouli, right? After RRR took the world by storm, him being involved is a massive signal. It basically screams, we're not just doing this again, we're taking it to a whole new level. He's the guy, the symbol for massive international scale and success.
Okay, then you add Priyanka Chopra Jonas to the mix. She's the global bridge. It's so smart. She brings way more than just star power. She brings familiarity to a worldwide audience. The second people see her name, the project becomes instantly recognizable, way more accessible to someone in, say, America or Europe.
And then for your leading man, you've got Mahesh Babu. But here's the twist. He's not playing your standard hero. He's cast as this mythic figure, right? A character whose journey is all about destiny, not just, what he wants. That immediately elevates the story. It's not just another action movie, it's tapping into these deep universal ideas about heroes and fate.
And to top it all off, you bring in the heavy hitters for artistic credibility. You've got Oscar winner M.M. Keeravani doing the music, an incredible actor like Prithviraj Sukumaran in a key role. This is them telling you, hey, this isn't just going to be a bunch of cool-looking scenes. No, this film is going to have real narrative depth, real emotional weight, and some seriously powerful performances.
All right, so you've got the strategy, you've got the dream team. Now let's talk about how this movie is actually going to look and feel. Because the visual philosophy behind it, that's where this project really plants its flag and declares its independence. The goal here is absolutely not to copy Hollywood. It's about taking something deeply authentic, Indian myth, Indian symbols, and reimagining it with the best, most modern filmmaking tools we have. The idea is to create something that feels totally fresh and new.
And here's the real philosophical split. Hollywood tends to invent its myths. They come from comic books, from brand new scripts. But the Varanasi approach is different. It's drawing from traditions that are still living and breathing today, from a culture that's thousands of years old. So it's not just presenting itself as fantasy, it's more like taking real heritage and turning into a mind-blowing spectacle.
So, what's the secret sauce? How do you actually pull this off? Well, it breaks down into this pretty clear 3-step playbook. Step 1, you root everything in real Indian symbolism. We're talking the architecture, the colors, every detail of the costumes. Step 2, you use the best, most modern, world-class technology and filmmaking techniques available. And Step 3, you smash those two things together. You translate that ancient heritage into a visual language, a spectacle that literally anyone on the planet can watch and just get.
But maybe the craziest, most forward-thinking part of all of this is the focus on world building. Listen, this isn't about just one movie. It's about setting up the foundation for a whole cinematic universe, an entire ecosystem of stories. So this film isn't just a film, it's a massive experiment for the entire industry.
Okay, so that brings us to the bottom line, right? The big question. After looking at the strategy, the all-star team, this incredible vision, why does this one single film actually matter so much?
I mean, this is the puzzle that any film with global dreams has to solve. How on earth do you take a story that is so specific to one culture and make it connect with everyone, everywhere, without, watering it down and losing what made it special in the first place?
And the answer? It's actually pretty simple. It's all about the themes. You look past all the epic, mythological stuff on the surface, and what's the story really about? It's about things we all understand, the search for who you are, the struggle of change, questions about faith, the burden of responsibility. These aren't just Indian ideas. These are human ideas. They hit home for everybody.
And this is a really key point. It's subtle, but so important. A movie like this isn't a history lesson. It's not a documentary trying to explain Indian culture to you. It's an invitation. It builds this incredible immersive world and just says, come on in, experience this with us.
So when you boil it all down, whether this movie makes $1 billion is almost beside the point. Its real importance, its legacy, is in its audacity, the sheer guts to try and redefine what's possible. We're talking scale, ambition, and just a whole new level of cultural confidence on the world stage.
At the end of the day, a project like this represents a huge change in attitude, in posture. It's that moment when a country's film industry stops just reacting to what the rest of the world is doing and starts speaking to the world on its own terms, with its own voice, telling its own stories.
And that's what we're left with, isn't it? This one big, lingering question. If a film like this actually pulls off what it's trying to do, are we on the cusp of a whole new era? Not just for Indian movies, but for world cinema, period. Now that is something to think about.